Welcome to Africa Speaks of Today. My name is Stephen Mulindwa, and as usual, I think you're all having a good time in whatever you are doing. I've got a very interesting person in today's program, but let's go to this first. What's going on in Cape Verde? Why don't we hear a lot about the country? Some of you have never heard of Cape Verde, but, well, the whole of Africa knows about Cape Verde. But I think there are reasons that I will give at some point. Now, Cape Verde is a group of 10 islands off the coast of West Africa, colonized by the Portuguese, with a mixture of African, Brazilian, and Portuguese influences. Remember those words. On the islands, with a population of less than 1 million people. It is one of Africa's smallest countries, by the way. With better political stability than most of Africa, it has improved the standards of living of its people and has emerged as a tourism industry, as a tourist industry that is growing each year. Now, the question is, what has Cape Verde, what is Cape Verde doing right that many other African...
Thank you for inviting me, my pleasure.
Yeah. Lots I've talked about. I just want, before we start, could you tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and what you're from Cape Verde, obviously, and something about yourself that anybody watching us today might want to know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My name is Elisa. I was born in Portugal, in Lisbon, Estoril, name Estoril, next Cascais. I moved to France, age of 23.
Okay.
And from France, I'm here. In France, I live in 16 years,
yeah.
And here 14 years in UK. I have 3 children and grandson.
Yeah, and a grandson. Oh, you don't look that...
5 years old, yes.
Yeah.
They live in Portugal.
Yeah.
And at the moment, once I came here, I met many people. At the beginning, I started to work as a cleaner. And from an association, I was introduced to Montrose College, where I started to study. And since then, I have done business marketing, business management top-up, and now I'm doing masters in business international.
Okay. Now, how did you get introduced to
in Cape Verde, that it can impact not just the world, but the people also. Diaspora have been doing very many events, business events, social events, that you are recognize leadership for that wonderful work they have been doing. Sometimes they are not recognized, and Diaspora is there to do that.
To do that. Now, historically, the rest of Africa knows very little about Cape Verde. In fact, in years back when I just learned about Cape Verde not long ago, I knew the islands were there, but because of 2 things. The first one is they've qualified for the World Cup. That's why I came to know. The second one was, I think the former president of Congo gave some money to, Mobutu Sese Seko, the former president of former Zaire, traveled to Cape Verde, and he met the president of Cape Verde at the time. I can't remember the man's name, and he donated quite some good money to the president of Cape Verde. And what the president did, he never actually used the money for him. The money was meant to be for him, but he built a couple of schools and did quite some money, because it was a lot of money. It was about $4 million. So this is what I had anyway, and that's the first time I had a lot about Cape Verde and how generous the president was at the time, who, instead of using the money for himself, gave it to the those who really need it more than him. Now, historically, what can we learn about Cape Verde? What is so special about Cape Verde?
Oh, I can see you are a resilient population. You are humble. You are very, very strong population. Yes.
Okay. And other than knowing that the Portuguese were the colonial masters, what else can we learn about Cape Verde?
Okay. The culture is amazing. The food, the drinks, because you have special home drinks made by home.
Yeah.
Everything is natural. There are no chemicals. The fish is wonderful. Also, that you have a strong woman named Simone Duarte. It has a cuisine from the fish. I invite you to go there.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is amazing.
Well, here in the UK, yeah.
No, in Cape Verde. In Cape Verde. And now you have many opportunities to invest the diaspora, for the diaspora. Initiatives by the government, that is wonderful to know about it, for all diaspora to go there.
Now, the 10 islands.
Yes, 10 islands.
The 10 islands who make up the Cape Verde.
Yes.
The system of government on these islands, are they autonomous on their own, or as it is that you have, of course, a government that governs the entire country? But how is the system working in Cape Verde? Yeah. Because if you are separated from different islands, do you look like, for example, Hawaii or what is this? Not Hawaii. Hawaii has a number of islands as well, but each island has got some kind of constitutional ways in which they govern themselves, although they have an overall constitution. How do they govern themselves? How do they govern? Is it, okay, you have the whole president who is overall, you have a parliament, you have all this, but is there a different structure?
The government they work with the local authorities.
Yeah.
And the special for them is to be central with all of them, but the structure is the same.
Yeah.
Even because you are small, but they work together.
You have councils, like councils or boroughs.
Yes, you have the mayor of each
island. Yeah.
But each island have the mayor, but